Imagine telling someone back in 2010 that a Minecraft movie would one day steamroll Disney's Snow White reboot at the box office. They'd look at you like you just tried to mine obsidian with a wooden pickaxe. But fast forward to today, and that's exactly what happened. A movie based on a pixelated sandbox game with zero plot, zero characters, and zero dialogue just demolished one of the most iconic fairy tales in history. We're officially in the craziest timeline, and honestly, it's kind of amazing. Let's look at the numbers first, because this isn't just internet hype. It's a full-on box office massacre. In its opening weekend, the Minecraft movie pulled in $86 million domestically and $205 million globally. Not bad for a film that started as a passion project and sat in development limbo for nearly a decade. Meanwhile, Disney's Snow White, despite all the branding, legacy, and hype, barely scraped together $38 million domestically and $81 million worldwide. That's not just a flop. It's an embarrassment, especially for a studio that's been trying to convince everyone they know what audiences want. So, how did this even happen? First, let's talk about Snow White. This was supposed to be Disney's next big live-action hit. The original 1937 film literally launched the studio's entire animation empire. It's one of the most beloved classics in movie history. But the remake? It felt like Disney was more interested in sending a message than telling a story. They cast Rachel Zegler as Snow White, which sparked immediate backlash. Not necessarily because of her ethnicity, but because of her attitude toward the original film. In multiple interviews, Zegler openly criticized the 1937 version, calling it outdated and saying the new version would focus less on romance and more on Snow White being a leader. Oh, and she also hinted that the prince might be completely cut from the story. Disney also replaced the iconic Seven Dwarfs with a group of diverse characters that, frankly, confused everyone. Combine that with Zegler's awkward press tour, where she came off as dismissive, sarcastic, and even a little arrogant, and you had a PR nightmare on your hands. Fans weren't just turned off, they were actively rooting against the movie before it even hit theaters. Now let's contrast that with Minecraft. On paper, it should have been a disaster. How do you make a movie out of a game where there's no plot, no characters, and no dialogue? But instead of trying to rewrite the rulebook, the filmmakers leaned into what made Minecraft so special in the first place: creativity, adventure, a sense of freedom, and nostalgia. Lots of it. They introduced a simple but engaging story set in a recognizable Minecraft world, added a bit of humor, threw in some action, and gave fans what they actually wanted. Something that felt like Minecraft, and it worked. Reviews were surprisingly positive, especially from audiences. It got a cinema score of a-, and user scores on platforms like Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb were strong out the gate. Word of mouth spread fast, especially among longtime fans of the game who grew up mining diamonds and getting blown up by creepers. It wasn't just a kids' movie, it was an event for anyone who ever spent hours building pixelated castles or exploring endless blocky worlds. The real kicker here? Minecraft didn't have Disney's marketing machine behind it. It didn't have decades of legacy or a billion-dollar franchise name. It had one thing: respect for its fans. And that was more than enough. Meanwhile, Snow White felt like it was made despite its fan base. The story was stripped down, reshaped, and rebranded into something that barely resembled the original. Love story? Gone. Classic characters? Replaced. Heart? Arguably missing. Even the title character didn't seem to care much about the role. Rachel Zegler admitted in interviews she was never a fan of the original film growing up. Imagine being the face of a legacy character and acting like you're too good for it. That's not empowerment, that's alienation. The result? One movie treated its source material like a goldmine of nostalgia and fun. The other treated it like an outdated relic that needed fixing. And audiences chose the one that made them feel good. But this goes beyond just two movies. This is about the direction Hollywood's been heading in for the last few years. Studios keep rebooting classic franchises, slapping on modern messaging, and expecting people to show up out of loyalty. But loyalty doesn't mean much when the product doesn't respect the original or the fans. People are tired of being talked down to. They don't want their favorite childhood stories turned into lectures. They want to feel something again, whether that's joy, wonder, or just good old-fashioned fun. Minecraft delivered that. It didn't pretend to be anything more than what it was: a fun, adventurous ride based on a game people love. It didn't try to reinvent the wheel. It just built one out of blocks, and somehow it rolled over Disney's reboot train like it was nothing. So, here's the reality check. Snow White had every advantage: a legendary IP, Disney's full support, a massive budget, and it still lost, badly, because no amount of branding or social signaling can save a movie that doesn't connect with people. Meanwhile, Minecraft, the underdog nobody expected to thrive, turned its simplicity into strength and walked away with the win. Snow White might have been the fairest of them all once upon a time, but this time, Minecraft took the crown, built a castle out of it, and defended it with a dozen iron golems. What do you think? Did Minecraft deserve the win? Did Snow White flop because of the messaging, or was it doomed from the start? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and hey, check out the next video because this box office story might just be the beginning.
When we look, you can see families were more than willing to go to the box office to support something like the Minecraft movie, while Rachel Zegler's Snow White continues to plunge.
Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends. That's how bad it is right now.
Warner Brothers' Minecraft movie versus Disney's Snow White, which in theory should be quite a battle, but it's not even a fair fight. And it's pretty hysterical, actually, to watch.
Every single one of these reviews is just absolutely brutal. And what you also need to know is that these are not politically driven reviews. I mean, most of them are from the camp that should be supporting Disney, that should be behind this new progressive take on Snow White, and yet they can't because the film is apparent.
I don't think they're gonna buy it. I don't think they're gonna watch it. I don't think they're gonna like it.
Snow White, of course, famously played by the insufferable girl boss narcissist, who's just clinical at this point.
There's no way that Snow White is going to recover.
Right, we're talking about ultra-far leftists, people who believe that men and women are a figment of your imagination, that your money is not your own, that your family is not your own, and that your country is not your own. That's what woke me.
She's literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is? Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Now, there is no doubt about it that Snow White 2025 is considered by far one of the worst box office failures, not just with Disney, but also in the entire film history when it comes down to live-action remakes.
You know, I don't need your business. You know what? Maybe Disney does. Maybe you're a tool, you're a pawn in this film. You didn't write it. You didn't direct it. You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White.
Right.
You should shut up and do the job.